is what you all been waiting for.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I really want to start trying to get this 2018 GT running a little bit quicker down the drag strip. And as you guys know, we are on a budget. We're trying to save up for the new GT 500. So I had an old GT 350 JLT intake lying around on the shelf. So today we're going to be installing that. All right, guys, so here we go. This is a JLT GT 350 intake that I had from my first GT 350 tech pack that I had. It's been lying around on the shelf for a while. I tried to sell it on my Instagram. Nobody seemed to want it, so I figured, you know what, let's see if we can't make it fit the 18 GT. Now, there are a few differences that I knew of right offhand, but I don't think it shouldn't be too difficult to kind of work around that, you know, the few differences that there are, and make this intake work. So the first thing that I know is different just from looking, I've had my GT 350 intake off so many times that this little inlet down here that connects to the grill opening is a little bit different on the GT 350. So I've already kind of got a plan kind of executed for that. What we're going to do is, I had this old 2015 GT intake lying around, and this has the same little outlet piece that connects to the grill as the 2018 does. So I cut this off, and what I'm going to do is, since as you can see that this outlet here is different, so what we're going to do is this is going to connect to the grill, and then I'm going to trim this piece down here. We're going to trim this piece down here. We'll probably only have, like, let's say that much of it, and then we'll just connect it with like some Gorilla Tape or something. We'll try to keep it as clean as possible, but you really shouldn't see too much because the air box there is quite large, and you really can't see too much of what's going on here. And then other than that, it's just simple little differences, like this hose is on the other side on the GT 350 intake. As you can see, they're both on the same side. That should be really easily repaired. All I'll have to do is lengthen this hose a little bit, and then I can flip it under and just kind of connect it down from underneath. So that shouldn't be too big a deal. And then the only other thing I know of that's different, we'll see when we go to install, is I know this is a little bit larger, but I think I can squeeze this down enough to where it'll fit. Worst case scenario is I'll have to get a different reducer there. So other than that, I think we can make everything work here. So let's go ahead and get right into the install. Alright guys, I know you've probably seen this 100 times already, so I'm not going to bore you with the install, but for those that are interested, just a real quick recap. All you have to do to get this air box off all in one piece, loosen the clamp here at the throttle body. You have a 10mm stud right back here on the air box. Obviously you want to unclip your mass air, just pull that out, little red switch on the bottom, pull that out, and then the harness will come right off. It's connected right there via a little Christmas tree clip. And then the only thing else you have to take off to take this all off in one piece is your sound tube connection, which we won't be using anymore, and then your breather connections here and here, and that's pretty much it. And then you can take the whole thing off in one piece. Okay, so now that we have the air box and everything out, we can test our little piece here. And this should fit right over this, and it does. So that's what we got working there. And then once we take the air box, now these air boxes should be all the same for all the S550s. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Yeah, see, that looks fine. Sound tube gets out of the way there. So there, yeah, like as you can see, there's not a whole lot visible down there. You can see a little piece of my little cut duct there. So all we have to do, where's our other piece? Here it is. So all we have to do with this piece is, like I was saying before, just trim out just enough to kind of give us a lip to tape around here. So the other side will go in here, and then we'll try to get it meeting as close together as possible, and then just tape it up. And that's all we need to do there. And then hopefully we can get this little reducer piece to work on the throttle body. So let's see if we can get that intake tube on there now. Alright, so there is a quick little mock-up. It looks like it's going to work out. One other problem I noticed, but this is probably going to be consistent even if I had an actual 2018 GT JLT, is because we have the nitrous plate on here behind the throttle body. The throttle body's sticking out a little bit further, and then because of that, it looks like the mass air is a little close, and it, you know, it just sits a little bit more at an angle. But you know, that's probably something I would have to deal with no matter what running this nitrous setup. So pretty happy with the way it looks. And then, like I pointed out before, I mean, I can still connect this as is. It's just not going to look very good if I connect it up here like this. So I will lengthen this piece of hose, and then we'll flip this straight down, and we'll run this underneath, and then that'll be clean. And then this here, I believe I can just spin this piece. Yeah, you can just spin that, and then boom. So yeah, that'll work out, and then that's it. So all I have to do now to make this whole setup work is trim down the ram air duct here, and then try to make it as clean as possible, and also as sealed as possible. So let me get going on trimming that, and then we'll see what we come up with. Alright, so now we have the ram air duct trimmed out. So now all we have to do is kind of seal up this little gap right here with some tape. And at some point, like I said, I'll probably try to get some foil tape or something to put on there, something heat resistant to kind of repel the heat of the radiator there, and then maybe it'll look a little better as well. So once I tape that up, we can finish up the install, tighten everything down, and then of course, hopefully I can get Palm Beach Dyno to send me back a tune ASAP, because obviously the car will be down now until I get a tune for this intake. Alright guys, so here is the finished duct. It's not so bad, right? Little cutting, little duct tape. It's not so bad. You can see on the inside, should work perfectly. I mean, in all honesty too, this should work better than the way JLT even intended, because here we're utilizing the factory rubber seal that seals up real nice against the grill opening here. So in all honesty, this should work even better than the JLT, you know, if I had an actual 18 GT JLT intake. And I'm all for stuff that works better. So now let's hopefully that'll fit right, and then we can go ahead and button the rest of this up and see what it looks like. Fits perfectly. May not look perfectly, but again, it's gonna work, so that's all that matters. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this install. Just have to plug in the mass air sensor here. And then we got the breather line here that we need to plug in. And then, like I said, I'm not going to plug this in for now. Like I said, guys, I don't even have the tune yet from Palm Beach Dyno. I do need to still get put in a tune request for this new intake. And then the only thing else I really need to do is ditch the sound tube. Oh, and one other thing I noticed while doing the install is my location here isn't going to work out anymore for my Windows switch. Can't even really see it. So I'm going to have to cut the wires on that, and then I'll relocate it to the inside of the airbox here, so that should look nice and clean. Do need to put the bolt in over here. No need to really tighten that down though for now though, because like I said, going to have to pull this airbox probably to get to this. Maybe I can do it without pulling the airbox, but we'll see. And then so yeah, that's going to do it, guys. Alright guys, so that was just a quick little desperate content video, but nevertheless, I do appreciate you guys watching the video as always, and if you're not already subscribed, please do so. You're going to want to stay tuned into the channel. We do have the GT 500 coming soon, and we're not going to stop with this thing taken to the drag strip, and hopefully we'll get some improved numbers at the drag strip, maybe even dive a little deeper into the 10s on the nitrous. Obviously not, you know, we're not expecting too much just off intake swap, but we're still getting the nitrous dialed in, and each and every time we're getting not necessarily faster, but we're kind of figuring things out, and the car's working better on the nitrous each and every time. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and again, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.